Aku Mimi Lia. Kembali lagi ke Tiny Bunny. Okay, hari ni kita nak main episode 2, Time to Play With You. New school, new teacher, and most importantly, new classmate who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses probably, I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. That will usually drive me to my old school, but this morning in the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the dad's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days when everything was so simple and easy. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneak out to the first floor so I will wake up anybody, especially the peaceful sleeping Olya. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soul touched the space between floorboards, it count as stepping into lava. The clock was spurring me on with its hands. I need to hurry, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the crack between floorboards. I needed to watch my step to survive at any cost. Hippity hoop, like a frog jumping on molehills, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat and drank it down with cool tea. My appetite was as good as of someone being led up the scaffold toward a guillotine. I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on two floorboards at the same time. Burned to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snake writhed in my belly. Return. Disgusting little snake written in my belly. The fear of getting hit and being called nasty name. The clock clicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. This darkness never fully left the houses around here. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glass for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time this thick piece of glass brought me any good fortune. Oh, it's so dark. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It clicked up star from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetop. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thickest. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. My parents made me wear these noses, afraid that I have been a total clock that I am could lose the key otherwise. The wind whizzed on the other side of the gate. It invited me into my new life toward dubious adventure, and tagged along like an old body, pushing me in the back. White shadow that pines throughout cover a third of the clearing. Oh my god. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hit my nose in the coat collar. I was squeezed through the thin fire break, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already sparse starlight. That night has no plan of moving away from the forest. In the darkness, tree reminded me of shaggy old woman that smelled of burial earth. Burial earth. What's that mean? Their trunk turned into cracked, wrinkled face with hole in the middle as their mouth. If I lost focus even for a moment, mole-covered witches will drag me into the forest depth. Then my parents will be walking around this park, screaming my name, Tony. But the dead can't answer the living. Oi, don't do that lah. Or can they? A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hand by now if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up in the ravines like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lung. The windfall cracked. The wind and the bird were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest crack. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger. As if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast it made my neck crunch. Oh my god. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. 3 branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel. Who's there? The question escaped my lip and dissolved into the unending cracking sound of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smidge of hope. A country road. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink. Clawed hand will grip me by the shoulder, turn me around, and make me look at the face of hungry forest Denise. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to the decrepit wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge supports buff in a spring terrain and ice cool. I put my hand on my knees and looked up at the forest, then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thick cat was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lay through a snow-laden road illuminated by sparse lamplight. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could, the one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game, where you need to be the first to proclaim, "I'm protected." Just in this case, that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness reading outside its bounds. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. In a place where the light from an encircle lamp could reach, a hairy crooked shadow came alive with a guttural roar. It almost felt like its feature glittered like its unnatural pulse instilled fear. My eyes almost popped out of their socket as I just stood there, blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. But the shadow didn't disappear and even got closer. My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snow pile. The black silk outer, on the other hand, straightened up and dressed me in a sweet voice.
Чего крадешься? Душу мою украсть хочешь?
Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul? Word got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here, between the forest and the village?
Чего молчишь, несмышленыш?
Will you say something, dummy?
Язык вырвали?
The cat got your tongue?
Слушай, а я тебе еще и нос откушу.
Alright, I'll bite off your nose then.
Будешь знать, как совать его в чужие дела.
That teach you not to poke it in place it doesn't belong. A girl's thought before me, judging from the voice and the seal out there. But I could even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaw were moving and her eyes were blinking. Mask? It's just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept onto my face.
А я
I was just
просто в школу иду, а тут ты.
going to school and then you?
Что я?
What about me?
Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит?
Never seen a fox feed a dog? Oh, you were feeding the dog. I thought you were eating that dog. And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's leg. One of the stray that were chasing me yesterday, probably.
Извини, я не хотел.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered his ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess I still smelled of bologna that I eat for breakfast. Bologna or Bolognese. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird.
Значит, не хотел. Ну-ну.
So you didn't mean to, huh?
Как тебя зовут?
What's your name?
Меня Антон,
I'm Anton.
а тебя?
And you?
А меня нет.
And I'm not. Wait. Nah, I don't want to laugh like that. She's weird. Definitely has a couple loosened screw. But she has a nice voice. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I could just walk away, but this girl had pinkled my interest. The next time a police officer asks me about my friend at the new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking fox.
Ты здесь живешь?
Do you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred. She spun around so hard the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый.
No, dummy.
Лисы не живут в поселках.
Foxes don't live in village.
Хочешь сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
So you live in the forest then?
Из какой норы ты вылез?
Have you been living under a rock?
Конечно! Лисам среди людей не выжить.
It's obvious that foxes can't survive anywhere near humans,
Пока они лисы.
as long as they're foxes. Her jokes were also weird, just like her carnival mask, paper mache with fur glue onto it. A dog reminded us of its existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge. Cookie, apple, or even my favorite crab stick. He called it a gift from the bunny. The stray strolled toward me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше?
Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning?
На утренник идешь?
Going to a costume party? The girl shrugged. The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflake off her nose, and her human form along with them, turning into a guinea piece, a real fox, agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped but to shreds. She tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but just stand there as a stump. Until I hear her calm melodic laughter hiding underneath the beastly mask.
Видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
I wish you could see your own mask, sweetie. Sweet. Did she say sweetie? I got embarrassed, went right up to my hair roots. We seen a fox in a zoo once when we went there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, was gray and skinny. But this girl was of fiery color and furry, just like in fairy tales. was still rummaging through my backpack. My finger that were searching for the dog trick stumbled upon some soft crumpled object.
Ничего,
You'll see.
скоро проснутся настоящие звери.
The real beast will wake up soon.
Спроси-ка лучше у них, где они взяли свои человеческие лица.
You should ask them where they got their human face. The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamplight. How the shadow can dancing in the lamplight? The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamplight. The dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cool wind instantly covered the hole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanting to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed. I wanted to sink through the snow. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seems even more thick. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know.
Так ты в школу идешь?
So are you going to school?
Ах, ну какой же дурачок!
Oh my, you are real dummy.
Так ничего и не понял.
Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me, calling me a dummy and all. I should just move along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog.
А ты чего обзываешься?
Why are you so mean?
Не хочешь отвечать, и пожалуйста.
Don't answer if you don't want to.
Никто не требует.
It's not like I care. Still, something froze me in place, tugged me toward the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just loud, languid enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fire burns.
Ой, да не дуйся.
Oh, stop pointing.
Гляди-ка лучше.
Look here.
Ты нравишься Жульке.
Zulka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through snow with sharp movement, snoring loudly. The fox turns around and looked at the windows of nearby house as at its timber front through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shiny under the lamplight.
И не только ей.
Maybe someone else too. I went red again like a boiled crayfish this time. Is she talking about herself or someone else? I hope that the semi-duck will be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking.
А кому еще я нравлюсь?
And who that person? I waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Her sleigh star was scanning the frosty pattern of someone's windows. She was reading them like a class book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped rummaging through the snow. He ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What is it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized that it was just my mitten. Maybe mom stuffed it in there when I was asleep. A certain missing boy immediately came to mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
Hey, do you know anything about Vova? I imagined the scene, Sil Altus dancing in the clearing. The dance on the night when Vova has disappeared. A boy who when found can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remembered my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Olia to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console, visibly embarrassed. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when mom and dad had a big fight. My greediness shattered their relationship. If only I could fix everything, gather everybody I love, take them to Disneyland.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова, я, кажется, видел, как кто-то похожий на тебя плясал под моим окном.
Vova has disappeared. I think I saw someone looking like you dancing under my window. It could be true, but I felt like her mask becomes even more slay. The fog was sniffing me out.
А что, ты тогда испугался?
For that got worried?
За себя или кого-то еще?
For yourself or for someone else? Oh yeah. As soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened and cool sweat streamed down my spine.
Ну так слушай меня внимательно, мальчик по имени Антон.
Well then, listen closely, my boy named Anton.
Это большой и страшный лес.
This is a big and scary forest. The fox stepped forward menacingly,
И я не единственный его обитатель.
and I'm not its only tenant.
Другие звери уже знают о тебе.
The other beasts already know about you.
Берегись нас. Этой ночью мы опять придем.
Beware, you come again tonight. I should have talked to this evil in child form. I thought panicking.
Пока ты со своей семьей будешь спать, подкрадемся близко-близко. И
When you and your
станцуем.
parents will be fast asleep, we'll sneak really close and dance.
Макарену!
Macarena.
Чё?
You say you dancing Macarena right now? Huh?
Эй, Макарена!
Hey, Macarena.
У тебя прямо челюсть отвисла, Антоша!
Look at you, your mouth is agape, Antosha.
Видел он меня ночью у своего окна. Ага, как же!
He saw me near his window at night. Yeah, right.
А ты случаем не местный дурачок, нет?
Are you by any chance a dimwit?
Меня не отпускают гулять так поздно.
Nobody will let me go outside that late.
Здесь, знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
Children go missing here, you know. I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты окуляры свои.
Hey, why don't you stop fondling your glasses? Fondling your glasses.
Я раньше тоже близорукой была.
I was also nearsighted once.
Лучше послушай меня. Может быть, ума наберешься.
Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter.
Лисичку как обычно называют?
Remember what do they call foxes?
Плутовка?
Chunning? My words seem to hurt her.
Ох ты ж! Да как ты меня?
Hey, what did you...
Ой, прости.
Sorry. You've got a beautiful laughter, yeah, that's true. Her laughter was akin to the jingle of a pair of silver bells.
Да шучу я!
Just pulling your leg.
Конечно, плутовкой.
Of course we are Channing.
Если ты ловкий и смелый, не боишься с плутовкой водиться, я, так и быть, помогу разыскать этого Вову.
If you're agile and brave enough to befriend a Channing fox, I'll help look for your Vova.
Ты же неспроста его ищешь, да?
There's a reason why you are doing it, right? I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться в наш лес.
I know why children have been swarming our forest recently.
Порой там можно найти много всякого интересного.
Sometimes you can find a lot of interesting stuff there.
Я вот однажды нашла целый сугроб конфет и купалась в нем, да так что челюсть слиплась.
One day, I saw a huge pile of candy once, and I swam in it until my jaw scrambled. A pile of candy? I couldn't deduct whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Посмотрите-ка, какой недоверчивый.
Boo, so wary.
Ну-ну, а что ты на это скажешь?
Well, what did you say to this then? Whoa. She held out her hand in a furry mitten. There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. In the city where I used to live, sweets like this were sold at market or in kiosks. I saw my favorite bubble gum in a vivid wrapper among the tasty treasure. A familiar name was on it, Turbo. A triangular fox face poked her nose toward me.
Угощайся,
Take some.
у меня их полные карманы.
My pockets are full of this. Oh my god, this will make a big decision for me. So I will leave this to the next episode. Okay guys, aku nak stop video aku sampai sini. Kita jumpa lagi di episode yang akan datang. Jangan lupa like dan subscribe video aku. Bye guys.